Hi, this is Mike again, giving an update on the Volvo V70 Titanium model that I gave when I bought this car. I did a little video on it and talked about one of the issues it was having. The car drives absolutely perfectly. See, remember, it's a titanium model that does have the R-type spoiler. Only 500 of these were imported into the United States. Comes a little different. The body molding trim is different. It is the V70 with a 2.5 turbo 5-cylinder engine. These titanium models come with all leather interior, all nicely specced out. And the headlights are a little different as well. It's got these, I guess these are, they are HID type style headlights, but they've got a little blacked out thing going on. Makes it look a little different. Not sure. Oh yeah, the wheels are different on these as well. So and the tires are slightly larger than the regular V70. The silhouette of this does look rather nice. Obviously, it's not an R, but it does look a little different from your regular V70. Engine's the same. It's the same 2.5 turbo engine, so there's no difference in there. The interior is quite the same as well. Not much difference on the inside. One thing I noticed with this one in particular, this has started fading off a bit, but otherwise she is a bit dirty today because of the high pollen, and it's rained quite a bit as well. But this is what I was going through with this particular vehicle. The oil pressure light was coming on. I start the car, and within maybe 10-15 minutes the oil pressure light would come on. Excuse the noise, guys. I'm parked right by a noisy road, and I got a little concerned. Well, I bought the car knowing that was going on, but the research I did showed that it could be really bad, and it could not be so bad, and that there were remedies to it. And so I figured I'd take a chance. And so one of the first things that I did, apparently with some years on these cars, they did have that issue where it was either the oil pump was not working the way it should, or if cars had a tendency to gunk up with a lot of oil sludge. And I'm not sure if this was mostly because people were not changing their oils on time, or if it was just you know, one of the characteristics of these cars. But in doing the research, I did see that was an issue with some of these models, and apparently probably this car was one of those affected ones as well. Well, there were a couple of remedies online, one of which was to do an engine flush or clean, and if you did that, you could possibly wash out that gunk. The other remedy was to replace the oil pump. So that was one remedy. Another remedy was, I forgot what the other one was, but anyway, none of the remedies was well, with the exception of replacing the oil pump. The other ones seemed fairly simple, so I figured I'd get started with the fairly simple remedies and see where we went. I'm not a fan of using these oil engine cleaning solvents, flushing solvents, but you know what? The engine in the car has 230 something thousand miles, and I figured, you know, give it a shot. And so what I did was Motor Medic was my solvent of choice. I did the research. Apparently, a number of people have used it with some success. So the whole idea with Motomedic is to, I guess, get the engine warm. Put the Motomedic inside, let it run for about 10-15 minutes at the most, and then do an oil change. There are warnings, do not let it run longer than that. And so that's what I did. When they did the oil change, there was some sludge that did come out, but it wasn't excessive, you know. So they did that, and I've run the car quite a bit since then. Maybe put on maybe about 1,500 miles thereabouts. And what I've noticed is that the frequency with which that oil light comes on has slowly gone away. It would come on intermittently, but not as often or not as consistently as it was coming on prior. And then I did another oil change, this time without the solvent, just a regular oil change, but obviously good oil. And this time I decided to use a Mobil 1 air filter, one of the better ones out there, and use that, change the oil again. This was within a time frame of, say, maybe 3-week time frame. Okay, so ran the car again after that oil change, and that light, that oil sensor light, has not been coming on since then. So has the problem been solved? I'd like to say yes, but who knows, it could come on again. I do know that whatever the remedy that I chose to do, which was the more simpler and cheaper remedy, seems to have made the symptoms not appear as much as they did initially, and I'm not as nervous driving the vehicle, because I was nervous. I did see some reports that the engine could seize up because there was no oil coming to the engine, so on and so forth. But I'm a lot more confident now because I've got clean oil inside the car. Not too much a fan of the engine flush, but it doesn't seem to have done anything bad to the engine. If anything, the oil looks very clean. And the second time I did the oil change, we didn't see much sludge at all, and we used a pretty good oil filter. So it looks like the thing with these cars is you got to use good oil. Use a very good oil filter, probably Mobil 1 preferred, and do your oil changes as and when. I don't believe in these 10,000 mile oil changes. This car was well maintained by the dealer, Martin's Volvo in Bethesda, but I'm pretty sure they went by that oil change schedule of, who knows, 7,000 to 10,000 miles, and I'm not a fan of those. I still believe change your oil. I think the max you should go on a regular oil change should be 5,000 miles. Nothing beyond that. But that's my personal opinion. These are running engines. These are motors that are running all the time, especially if you're someone who's using them quite a lot. And especially with these European engines, they can be great if you look after them really, really well. Okay, so that's my update with the Volvo 2004 model V70 2.5 Titanium edition. This car might be sold because I got a 2008 with a 3.2 inline 6 engine that has a head gasket problem. But when I got that one, I figured, do I really want to keep two Volvo wagons? Do I need to keep them? I'd love to keep both of them, but I don't need to. And I have too many cars on my hands already. So I did put it up for sale, and I got a eager and willing prospective buyer. We'll see if the deal goes through. But this particular car is a very nice car, with the exception of that issue. And I disclosed that issue to the prospective buyer, and I told them exactly what I did, and that I'm not seeing those symptoms anymore. And they seem pretty satisfied. I think they're getting a very, very, very good car, because this car drives like it's brand new. If I was keeping it, what I would do to it, I'd probably change it came with pretty decent tires, as you can see. I'd probably put on new struts. I would maybe do the PCB service. I did the glove check. It did not swallow the glove. So that tells me that it's okay, but I'm out of an abundance of caution. If I was keeping this car, I'd probably do that service. I would also do the timing belt and the water pump service on this as well. Change the struts, and she should be good to go. Transmission is solid and smooth. It's all fine. The turbo is doing very well. The car picks up speed almost like a sports car, to be honest with you. Oh, one other thing with these titanium models is these side windows or side mirrors. They do have an automatic switch where you can put it on, and it'll go back in by itself. It's not automatic. I noticed with the 2008 model that I got, it's automatic. As soon as you turn off the car, they retract by themselves. This has a button where you can retract it, which is quite different from the standard V70. The other thing I noticed, the other thing that I know that these titanium models have is a speed sensitive steering. So the faster you go, the steering adjusts accordingly. You do not have that on the standard or even the limited V70. Okay, so once again, there was only 500 of these produced, so I think it's a little special. I do like the little R, the complement to the R with this here, gives it a nice sporty look. And these Volvo wagons they're such beautiful designs. Imagine that this is a 2004 and it still looks great. It has a timeless beauty to it. The 5-cylinder engine, I've always liked Volvo's 5-cylinder engines. I think they're well made. They're same with I'm also a fan of the VW 5-cylinder 2.5 engines. I think those are good motors as well, quite solid and reliable if well maintained. The Volvo ones are pretty good. Of course, one of the things to watch out for is a PCB service. Make sure that that's done. But if you look after these, especially the base models without the turbos, they are good. And even with the turbos, turbos get old and you might have to change them. But I had a base model with a 5-cylinder engine, and that thing was a tank. Just kept running and running and running. I'll say this, I do like the 3.2 inline engine. It's a solid engine. It's garnered a good reputation for reliability. I do not know why the one that I got has a head gasket problem. I may need to change that engine, but hey, I got a good deal on it, so I don't mind doing that. But anyway, thank you for tuning in, and if this is the last time you see this baby, well, it's a beautiful car. Let's take another nice look at this baby right here. There you go. It's evening. I wanted to do this when the sun was out, but you can still get a nice look at her, and she does look stunning if you ask me. This is Mike signing off. Bye.